Hey, YouTube, Repo Man 64. We're still here. We're still waiting. We're all doing the same thing. Not going to lie, it's difficult trying to figure out when this is going to happen. But I think God is using all of these as stepping stones. When you cross from one side of a creek to the other, you use stepping stones as you cross to get to the other side. And all these things that we're discovering along the way are wonderful. I've learned so much over the last year. I've been studying for a long time, over 30 years, and I've never seen so much information as we've seen here lately come out. And I have some more, and I want to show it to you. This is a passage in John 3. This is where Mary goes to visit her cousin. It says, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except to be given him from heaven. Ye yourselves bear witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I am sent before him. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoice greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This is my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. He must increase, I must decrease. So that's why I was looking at the winter solstice, because at that moment in time, on December the 21st at 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the decrease ends and the increase begins. Is it a stepping stone? I don't know. This is this is the circuit of the sun. It is not an infinity, but it is the circuit of the sun. And on here, I've put dates that seem to line up pretty well. And remember that, let me see if I can find that real quick. There. And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age. And this is the 6th month with her. Now, this is the angel speaking to Mary directly after Mary conceives with Jesus. And this angel is telling Mary that Elizabeth is right now, at this moment, 6 months pregnant. 3 more months until John is born. 3 more months, and Jesus will be 3 months in the womb. So, let me read on. I'm going to stop here for a second because it's hard to read. You can't drive and read. It's impossible. I had a light before, but okay. So, and behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she has also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren. For with God nothing shall be impossible. And Mary said, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her. Mary arose in those days. So shortly around the time of Mary conceiving, she got up in those days and went into the hill country with haste into a city of Judah, and entered into the house of Zacharias and saluted Elizabeth. How much time between her conceiving of Jesus, and notice here in the Enoch calendar, the flood ends on December the 10th. I find that pretty curious that she conceives, and she, of course, will no longer have her monthly cycle, and basically her flood ends shortly. Well, it ends. It stops. Jesus is conceived here. I'm guessing that she stayed for the Festival of Lights, and that on the 15th, somewhere here before the winter solstice, she went over here to see Elizabeth, her cousin. It records that she stayed with Elizabeth, her cousin, until just before John was born. She left just before John was born. So she was with him for about 3 months. So she leaves from where she's at. She goes to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth has her child on John's born on March the 17th, the same day that Enoch is conceived, the day of equal parts, the first day of the year. It all lines up very, very, very well on the Enoch calendar. So then from there, like I said, she goes to see Elizabeth. She winds up with Elizabeth. I'm guesstimating around December 21st, the winter solstice, and this is also the date we believe that Enoch was born. So she stays with Elizabeth for these 3 months and departs back to where she was after 3 months, and before John is born. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm starting to apply all these dates that I've come up with to the circuit of the sun. This is how the sun looks to us as it moves through a finite point in the sky. It'll move each day along this circuit. So let's see here. I wanted to bring up a point. I heard this on Watchman. I can't recall Watchman. Anyway, he made a video recently and he put out these 3 dates, and I thought that was pretty cool. On November 29th, 1947, the General Assembly came together and partitioned Palestine between the Arabs and the Jews, and said this partition here will be Israel. They actually went into the land on May the 14th of 1948, where the provisional government of Israel proclaimed a new state of Israel. So you have a period of time between November, so you have December, January, February, March, April, May. You have 5 months. 5 months. And then the very next day, after May 14th, on May 15th of 1948, there's a war that breaks out. And Israel wins by March the 10th of 1949. So there is a thought process that they're stating that, yes, Israel became a nation on May 14th, 1948, and they proved it on March 10th, 1949, which is just, a few months later. 9 months later. So is this the birth of a nation after 9 months? I don't know. It's something to look at. We're just trying to figure it out every single day. I know the bride is not losing patience, but really wanting to see this event take place. We've been talking about it for so long, and we're like, oh, it's going to happen, and then of course we hear these naysayers say, oh, you're wrong, it's not going to happen. And we're in the window right now. We're in that time right now. There's no question that we're within the window of this rapture taking place. And we keep watching. We literally do have until May 13th of the year 2022 before Israel becomes 74, which would wipe out the 7-year tribulation as we understand it. So we know that this event has to take place by May next year. So that's just 5 months away. It's not that far. We've been waiting for a very long time, and but I still believe there's a lot of stuff coming up. Matt over at Wackadoodle Samoan has a Facebook page that if you're on Facebook, you can go find Wackadoodle Samoan, and he's come up with some signs that he sees in the sky, and then I've seen others come up with January the 3rd, January the 6th, January the 9th. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're to look up. That's where we look. We look up. We don't look down. We look up, and we look at the stars and how things line up. So hang in there. We're almost there. We can't, and the bride's not going to. The bride's not going to lose patience. The bride's going to hang in there. That's what we're going to do. This might even be a testing period. Who knows? To see, to divide the wheat from the chaff. I don't know. But hang in there. It's coming. It's coming. There's too much stuff going on in the world, as you can see, for this event not to take place here very shortly. So, RepoMan64, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for all the subscribers. There's so many of you now. I never expected it to grow this much, and it's fantastic to watch. It doesn't. I don't make anything. It just shows me that. To me, it shows me that God is using me to bring you some information, and for you to digest it and do with it what you will. You know, I don't make a dime off this, and I don't want to. I'm happy to bring as much as I can to you. So we're running out of time. We're running out of time. That horn's going to go off, and then it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. You know, as soon as we leave, the moment we leave, the very moment that we leave, the 144,000 are going to be here ministering to the saints. And who are the saints? They're those who were on the fence. They were lukewarm. They were still caught up in the world. They believed in Jesus, but they're still caught up in the world. But this is going to be such an eye-opener for them. And they're a very important group. God loves them very much. And he's going to shake them awake, is what he's going to do. And they're going to be shaken awake, and they're going to be ministered to by the 144,000, and it's going to be spectacular. And it's a group that no man can count. It's a very, very large group, and they're going to do double what we were doing. Remember the story of Elijah and Elisha? Elijah was caught up in a whirlwind, and Elisha saw it. And Elijah says, if you see this event, then you will get a double portion. They're going to get a double portion. Whatever we thought we had, they're going to be more than us. Very minimum, it says a double portion, twice as big as us, twice as informative, twice as intelligent, twice as understanding of the times that they're in. They're going to have the knowledge of seeing this rapture occur and knowing that theirs is next. They will be next. And it's a very important group. So go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know, and you don't need to tell anybody. And accept the Lord into your heart. We are out of time. We are out of time. And, man, what's about to unfold in front of us here very shortly is going to be spectacular. It's going to be incredible. We walk around and we like, it's kind of looking the same, but then this happens and that happens, and we see with all the wars and the rumors of wars that are going on, and the planet, I mean, the planet is just convulsing, and volcanoes and earthquakes everywhere. Birth pangs are just increasing like never before. Never before. We had a volcano and then another one 500 years later, but now we're having them all over the planet in different locations all over the place. You know, so I think that the closer we get, the more spectacular stuff that we're going to see is going to alert the final ones, you know. So anyway, we will chat with you again later. I'm working on my timeline, my Enoch timeline. I had it done, and I've showed it to you before, but I'm going to clean it up and make it look a lot better, and I'm going to put it on my Discord. You can go into my Discord. I'll put a link in there. And my Discord's fantastic. We do, and Gina News does a lot of news. Daughter of Elroy, she moderates in there. We have a Latin room. We have a lot of rooms for YouTubers that don't have their own Discord. They're not necessarily in there, but every video they make, we put it into their room. And we have lots of discussions going on in there. It's fantastic. And Got a Minute has his own Discord. His is fantastic as well. You can get his Discord from his videos, and there's a lot of voice, a lot of talking in there. It's fantastic. There's a guy that I met in there. His name is Moses, and got him in his Discord, and he had a very, very, very vivid dream of the 144,000, and he is in Israel. And we get to talk to him. He's in Israel, and we get to talk to this guy. He's 22 years old, and he's so humble. He is so humble, and he's so wonderful to talk to. And I think he's one of the 100. We're going to speak to all these groups, okay? And to be a part of one of these groups, it's like I've always said, if you're A billionaire, you wouldn't know how to live in the country like country folks do. And country folks, they don't want to live in a high-rise mansion somewhere. They like the country. That's what they know. That's what they love. That's their group of people, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. There's some concept that if you're poor and you know you don't make $1 million a year, there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You live in a fantastic place where you get to catch your own food and take care of your own stuff and can stuff, and it's wonderful because I grew up in Montana, so I know about that. And so it's to each his own, you know. And so when I speak of these groups, I'm very serious that you have probably met a bride or the church. You've probably met a saint that will be in the tribulation. You've probably met, and now I know I've met, one of the 144,000 Jewish males. And you're going to meet some people that will say, I don't want any of that. I just want to inherit the earth. And they are the millennial saints. And you'll meet all these people, and you'll be the first reaction is no, you don't want to be here through the tribulation. You want to become a bride so you don't have to suffer through that. And their reaction is, I really do want to be here. I want to help. I want to become a saint in the tribulation, and I want to bring in as many people as I can. And they will tell you that. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. We can't judge that. You know, they have a different outlook. They have a different point of view. There's different things that they worry about that the bride doesn't worry about. And you have to step back and say, hey, yeah, I don't live in Trump Towers. I'm not a billionaire. And I don't want to. I wouldn't know how to do that. I'd make a bad billionaire. I would probably just give it all away. I wouldn't know what to do with it. You know, I work for my money. And people in the country, you say they don't work, but they do, because they catch stuff and they can stuff and they grow stuff, and they're very self-efficient. You know, what's a billionaire going to do with all that money when things collapse? They're not going to make it. Those people out in the country, they're going to make it. You know, billionaires show up with all of his money, and the guy out in the country is like, I don't care about your money. I don't want your money. You know, so just remember there are several groups, and I'm not saying to look for them, and I'm not saying to categorize anybody, but I am saying that let the Spirit point it out to you, and be content that they are exactly where they want to be, and they have been chosen for a specific task, and they're going to fulfill that task. In the name of God, they're going to fulfill that task. God has made his choice. The pot does not say to the pot maker, why have you made me this way? The pot's happy to be made. You know, the pot could be filled with water or the finest wine. It doesn't matter. The pot is still being used by the Lord, by the maker, and the pot doesn't have a say-so in it whatsoever. The pot is made, and that's the point of John 6:44 that I always have on the wall behind me when I'm in my house, and that is nobody comes to the Father unless the Father draw him. So nobody. It doesn't say some people don't. It says nobody comes to the Father unless the Father draw him. Nobody gets to heaven except through Jesus Christ. That's the end of it. You know, and to hear this Jew just love Jesus on God a Minute's voice chat. He'll probably be on there tonight. I don't know. I'm going to be on there looking for his name's Moses. So what a fitting name. I mean, really, what a fitting name. But we'll chat with you later. I've gone on too long, and talk to you either in my Discord, and God a Minute's Discord, and iron this out and try to figure this out together. You know, I hope nobody's relying on me to figure it out. We all got to work on this together in the how do you call it, the comment sections. I love information. I love new information. Spinebreaker just sent me something in the email, Kevin, so that I got to go through that and read that. And I sent him all my information from Enoch. So, yeah, we're all working together, right? Trying to figure this out. Anyway, Repo Man 64. I think I said everything else. We'll talk with you later.